Good morning and welcome to the classroom. No, this doesn't look like a typical classroom, but the classroom can be anywhere you make it, I've learned through my first year or so of teaching. So today I'm gonna kind of talk about who I am, why I'm here, why I'm starting a YouTube channel, and hopefully you follow along and enjoy my video. Thank you. Okay guys, good morning. I am outside our greenhouse right now, and we're gonna go in. That's the first thing I do every morning when I get here, at least since February, is go in and water those precious plant babies. It is a little bit loud in there, so I will try my best to kind of walk you through, but today my goal is to kind of just take you guys on a journey through my mornings, through my crazy afternoons, what I do in the classroom, after school, before school, kind of the day in the life of an ag teacher, a young ag teacher. I'm in my second year. And then as I go through, I just want to kind of share some of my passions, the reasons why I'm doing this, and hopefully give you some advice that you guys can implement. So come along with me. All right, we are officially in the greenhouse. Right now it's pretty full with all kinds of goodies. And our plant sale officially starts today. We did some pre-sales yesterday. I have somebody coming in this morning also to get some flowers ahead of time. For my plant sale, this is my second year, and I have offered VIP access to my teachers, our staff that are in the kitchens, the custodial staff, the bus staff, very busy people. Fridays get crazy. We all are trying to get out of here, but also I think they deserve to have that special access. So I give them access this year. Yesterday, which was Thursday, today, which is Friday, I told them they can come before or after school or during the day, just let me know. And then it's kind of like I get some pre-sales, they get what they want, and it makes them feel special and appreciated, and I enjoy doing that for them. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start watering. That usually takes me about 15 minutes, just depends how dry things got. And today's gonna be a busy day. We're gonna be out here a lot. It's not super hot, but the greenhouse stays 80 degrees regardless of how hot it is outside. So I'm gonna go ahead and give everything a good water down, because I won't be able to water again this evening. We don't want wet feet for my kids or for the people coming in. Set up a power washer to wash the floors yesterday. Well, one of my young gentlemen put it on with a wrench. I can't get it off, and that's my only hose right now. So I'm gonna get a wrench, we're gonna take that off and get started. That's why this sometimes takes 5 minutes, sometimes it takes 20. You never quite know what you're gonna get. Another thing I wanna show you is when I get down here is I have a discount table. This year that's new, and I wanted to give a discount table because I hate, it just pains me to throw away plants. Even if they are not the biggest, the bestest plants, I always believe in giving them a chance. I've nursed many plants back to health, and my bestie is like a wonderful plant mom, and she's wonderful at that too. So, you know, some of these might die, right? Some of them look fine, they're just a little sad, right? And so I'm gonna let people name their price on those. Hopefully I get a little money out of some of them. Some people love that. Other people want a normal flower they know is gonna live, and I totally get that. But to each their own, and some people like that nurturing the plant back to health and feeling like they got a good deal, so it's what I do. We're getting somewhere. I'm waiting for the water pressure to go down. I turned the water off because, as per usual, I'm getting soaked in the greenhouse. I just plan on getting my feet, my pants, whatever wet every single day I come out here. So plan accordingly. Wear some rain boots or something if you want. That's what I intended to do. Wear rain boots every day when I come in here. For me, that's not realistic. That's not what happens. So I just wear something I'm okay getting my feet wet in. Problem solved. The pressure is still way too high on this one, so I'm gonna go turn it down. Alright, now we got something we can work with. Alright, watering is done. I wanted to say a couple things, some things that I've learned, mistakes that I've made over the last year or so, and just tips and tricks in the greenhouse. first one is I have my kids in 8th grade grow cucumber, lettuce, and radish, and their goal is to try to grow it in the smallest space possible while still being productive. And it kind of works out nicely with those three because they grow fast, so I can do it within a semester course. But just take a look at this guy. It is massive. It has so many flowers on it. The kids have hand pollinated some of them, so some of them should start getting cucumbers here soon. They're gonna have to come pollinate again later this week. And we just do that with a Q-tip. In the greenhouse, there's no wind, there's no pollinators, there's no true rain, right? And so we don't know if we're gonna get cucumbers or not, because unless it gets pollinated, that plant is going to not get any cucumbers. It has to have that fertilization to actually get a cucumber. So I've been teaching them that. I know this plant for sure has gotten one cucumber. And I don't know if we have another little baby guy in here starting. And I'm sure there's probably gonna be more to come. But we're gonna move some of these outside today, and that is because in my garden I did not plant any cucumber seeds, and they can't really take those home because I need those totes. In the past I've had kids take them home, but it's just not feasible. So they're not taking them home. We're gonna go put them out in our community garden, which is where I'm going next, but it is 7:01. So I am expecting somebody to come over here closer to 7:30 and check out the greenhouse. So we're gonna walk and talk. This is the ag building. I don't teach in that building. There's only one classroom and a shop, but I will give a tour about that later, probably on a different day. So while we're walking out, other things that I thought about while in the greenhouse. If you are a beginner and you don't know what to start with, I would talk to other schools in your area. What do they sell? What are they successful with? I have partnered with my local school, like a local school 7 miles up the road. And that teacher was very, very helpful. She gave me her list of plastics she used, what soil she used, what plants she ordered, how many, and that kind of helped gave me an idea of what I can do within my program. And then things that I've learned from ordering that way, things that work for me and things that don't, and things that are easy. So if you are in your first year and I have no idea what I want to grow, Vinca is drought resistant. It's nearly impossible to kill, so that is a great one to start off with. It deals with highs and lows and temperatures, little or a lot of water. They are happy campers. So those are a good one. Petunias are a huge hit. A lot of people love petunias. Always get wave petunias or cascading petunias. Those are the ones that come up over the basket. They look gorgeous, and those are what are highly sought after. I've gotten traditional petunias and they did sell, but definitely wave and cascading sold way faster. So this year I just got wave and cascading and everyone's like, woo, wonderful. I will take them. They're also fairly easy to keep alive, not as easy as Vinca. The third one is Coleus. Coleus is gorgeous, and it is so hardy. Little water, a lot of water, hot, cold, it tends to do really well. And so I found that one's working really well. And then geraniums, they're not too finicky either. They're more on the level of petunias, in the sense that you can kill them for sure. I have killed some, but they are a little more hardy. Okay, I am going to stop and I'm going to flip my camera around and we're going to go through the garden. All right, we made it out to the garden. This is the front of the school. My classroom's over there, the ag building's over there, the greenhouse is over there, and we walked all the way over here. This is actually the outdoor classroom. A student for his Eagle Scout project made this a few years ago. And unfortunately, we don't use it a whole lot, just because getting the kids out here, keeping them focused, and also it's a chalkboard. We don't really have chalk around here, so we're gonna have to fix that. My goal is to post some information about the garden on these little inside doors, but also maybe bring some chalk or other supplies out here so teachers can use it. We're also going to plant some flowers out in front, hopefully beautify the space, make it a little more welcoming. We put down some mulch to kind of help. They already had mulch down, but it was getting really low, so whatever we had left over from the garden, I had the kids spread out. And this project is a new project this year. It's something I've been really excited about for a couple years, but I've taken my time to plan and think about and really do some research on what is going to work well. Other community gardens, there's one in the town over from me where I work with them very closely. I went to WIU for college in Macomb, and they had this wonderful, wonderful garden set up where they had community garden. Anyone was welcome to come in. Anyone was welcome to get stuff at no charge. And so I kind of wanted to replicate that here because I think that's something that a lot of people need, especially in our community. We have, I believe it's 36%, might be higher now, low-income students on average between our elementary, middle school, and high school. So hopefully this is going to help with some of that food insecurity and help keep those people happy and healthy. Okay, quick tour. We got some onions. We got some not spicy peppers, some rhubarb. My rhubarb is going to come back every single year. It is a perennial, so I plan on wherever I put that bad boy, it's going to stay. Over here we're going to have some spinach, some Brussels sprouts, and then I have some cabbage back here. Got some little baby lettuces. Aren't those guys so cute? Those will actually be ready to harvest pretty soon. I started those in the greenhouse. We got some potatoes started, some herbs, some kale back here, radish and beets in this half, and then we got our spicy peppers. I have an expert gardener student, and he let me know that through his trial and error, he has found that if you put spicy peppers next to sweet peppers, the sweet peppers will then become spicy. So we didn't want that, so we decided across the garden, not in the same bed, best option. And hopefully they don't cross-pollinate because that can also cause flavor change. Some carrots. We only got one little tomato here right now. I need to put the second tomato in over here. And then we have 2 tomatoes on each side of my arch. And that arch is going to be something that these plants grow up. We chose indeterminate tomato varieties for that, which means those are climbing varieties. They will keep growing, they will keep vining as long as you let them. The ones that we put in the beds are more of a bushy or a determinate type, which means they have a determined height in which they stop growing. And then around the edge, I'm not going to walk all the way around, but we have peas all the way along this side. We have squash all along the back, and we're going to put that big old cucumber in the middle over there. And then we have green beans along the side. And what that is for is all of these are trellising, or they will love to vine, okay? If we put those in a bed, things are going to go a little crazy. But also, we want to save space, and we want to get as much bang for our buck out here. So having the fence and having them grow up the fence is a very good plan. And then the last thing is I've had my kids make this redneck compost bin. Right now we're storing our water cans in here so they don't fly away. I have a grant coming soon where we're gonna get some more money for a compost bin. But my original plan, the cheap way to do it, is to get some pallets. We just screwed them together, and then we took some chicken wire and put that around. The job of the chicken wire is to help it not go through those big gaps. And we did 2 layers to kind of create more of a net so the stuff doesn't fall out. We didn't put anything on the bottom. We want all those worms and microbes and good things that are going to eat all of this compost up. We want those to come up through the soil. So there's nothing on the bottom. There's just grass underneath there. And my 8th graders are actually the ones that did this. They are the ones that went out and collected nitrogen-rich things, carbon-rich things. They made a recipe, and then we mixed it all together. So I told them, if we do it right, it does not smell. And if you could smell and you were here, you would say, I don't smell anything. The community garden is open for anybody in the school district that we have. So I've opened that up for anybody in the community, student, parent, grandparents. So for us, that includes about 5 or 6 small little towns that can have access to this garden for free. I think I'm a little bit further away from the crazy teenage kids with their music. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm on my way back to the greenhouse because I have a customer coming somewhere between 7 and 7:45 out to the greenhouse. But I wanted to talk about why I'm doing this. I want to educate people. That is something that's always been a passion of mine. I want to share the knowledge and things that I've learned. I may not be a very experienced teacher, but I also got to know, you can't have imposter syndrome. If you have something to share, then share it, Don't gatekeep it. You don't have to be somebody who's taught for 15 years. You don't have to be somebody who's an expert at gardening or in the greenhouse or anything. You just have to be somebody who has lived and learned and has something to share. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I've learned a lot in the last 2 years. So just wanted to share those pieces of advice. And the second reason is really to keep myself accountable. I think that's going to be a great way to keep myself accountable, is posting videos, keeping myself going, and give me something exciting to look forward to. Right, another pro tip: when you're shopping, when you're getting lab supplies the week of the plant sale, grab yourself some boxes. Produce boxes work great. They're really sturdy. They're usually long and wide. That way people have stuff that they can take with them, and they can just take a whole box. And I also find that when you give them a box, they usually fill it. And then the other option is all these trays that we use to put the plants in. When we're not having plants in them, I take them and I tell them they can walk around with one of these. If they want to take these home, so be it. A lot of people bring it back, and then I get to reuse them year after year, but it's really nice for them to have something to carry while they're walking around. They tend to get more plants because you can only hold so much in their hands, and they can hold probably 3 times as much whenever they have it not in their hands and in a box instead. Oh, and then one other thing. Always make sure that you catch any little guys that have fallen, little fallen soldiers. Those plants, whether it might be leaning or tipped over for a day or 2, they will get lean. They will always grow towards the light. So any time that their cup is off kilter, they're gonna grow that way. So I always tell the kids they have to be straight. I'm probably going to be saying that in my sleep, but if they're like this guy right here, as you can see, he's already started to grow. He's trying to lean up towards the sun. It's called tropism, where they are leaning towards their light source. And so that's exactly what he's trying to do right now, because he's been on his side probably maybe a day or 2, so his isn't very severe. But last year I had some plants that were straight up, had like a 90-degree turn because that plant was going up towards the sun. Third hand, also something that I've learned is this little pouch, lifesaver. I wear it all the time. People always, I've had coworkers say, I notice you carry that around all the time. Do you have treats in there? And I said, I wish I had treats in there. It's my, I can't not lose anything bag. So anything that I might need while I'm out in the shop, out in the greenhouse, or outside, my keys, my phone, whatever, are in there. Could throw pliers or whatever else I want in there. But if I don't have pockets, or even if I do have pockets, it's nice to have that with me. It's like my third hand. And just like that, I am in the school finally at 7:21, which means I've been at the school for about 50 minutes already. And I'm just now getting to my classroom. So, plan accordingly.